Eh, whatever. All right, so I am back at the shop today, people. It is beautiful outside. It is like 54. My ears are still getting a little cold, but it is warm enough that I can be over here actually doing something. And well, there's a lot to do because I left this place a mess. I got crap out on the table or on my bench there. I've got a bunch of junk over here. I've got some windows and a bunch of wood that needs to be sorted and moved. And this place, I've even got the one little mini paddle hanging there for whatever reason. Needless to say, I mean, got Gatorade bottles just laying around. So I need to get this place cleaned up. So that is today's hopeful project. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to end up dropping this down to the ground and moving the stuff that's underneath it. Why, you might ask? Well, that's pretty simple. I am hopefully going to be ordering most of the plywood and the wood for the trailer this week. I did find out how much all of this was going to cost me, and I'm still not quite sure if I'll have enough wood, but I'm going to try to get at least the majority of what I can. And with this table being here, I really need to be able to set the plywood that's incoming down on it for at least another couple of weeks, because I'm not going to be able to really be starting the build until it gets warm enough outside to actually accomplish something. So these legs here will not hold all of the wood that I'm ordering. So I'm gonna hopefully drop that down to the ground, maybe put it up on a couple of bricks and remove the stuff that's underneath there, find a better place for that stuff. And yeah, so that is today's project. So I guess I just need to get to it. I just moved the Phylon, which is a heavy son of a bitch, from down here. I moved it over here at first into the corner right here, but that just didn't seem right because I couldn't strap it down to anything. So now I have moved it over here and it's connected up to this giant shelving unit here, and I was able to put a strap around it at least so it can't accidentally fall over. I have also cleaned up back here by where all the wood was. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with this pile right here. But as you see, I put a lot of it up on the very top shelf here. And the scrap can has definitely grown a little bit since the last time. So right now what I got to do is I got to put that piece back in the box because I didn't. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this, because what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the toolbox and put it underneath there, and then underneath the table there won't be anything, so I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do with that stuff anymore. And then I just got to finish up a few other things here. I'm thinking I might even go through this stuff and get rid of some more of that scrap, because I'm a hoarder of scrap wood, so I really need to get rid of some of it and give it to my buddy who has a firewood business for, you know, kindling. So yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to tackle all of this, but that's eventually, and a lot of it isn't mine, so I really don't want to do much with it. But I do need to straighten up the stuff that is mine. And so yeah, then I did also clean off this table here, but as you see, it's accumulated a little bit. I still got to figure out exactly where I'm going to put this. I might just end up putting it down into the toolbox for now. I'm one of those cleaners that as long as it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and it's clean. So, all right, see you guys on the next update. Well, I kind of measured wrong, or guesstimated wrong, I should say, because I never actually measured it. Yeah, it's kind of under there, but it is too wide. So I got to figure out where I'm going to put that, because it does have windows and all of the parts to fix the windows in it, along with some other trailer related stuff. So I'm thinking, as much as I don't want to, because I'm going to end up having to move it at least a couple of times, I'm probably going to end up being forced just to set it down here where I know there's plenty of room. And final update, been a few hours, but I did end up going through all of the scrap wood there. I got rid of all the wood that was along here. Those are just boards that are supporting the ones underneath, which is fine. And I actually decided to go ahead and leave the table up because what I'm thinking about doing is adding another 3/4 piece of plywood on top and adding legs to the sides of it on both sides, probably 3 legs on each side. And then what I'll be able to do is I'll have enough room underneath to lay a couple of 2x4s out this way to support all of the plywood that will go on top of it. So I'll actually be able to store the plywood right where I'm building with it and not have to worry about moving it around too much except for up onto the table when I need to. I put that wood that was on the side there underneath here, along with one of the benches that I used to sit on. I put one of the other benches here, the fans back there. I did end up putting the toolbox there. Like I said earlier, I put the pylon up. I just set the doors right there for now. They're the last things that get put in, and eventually I'll just be able to slide them underneath because there won't be any plywood underneath the main workbench here, so that will be nice. And then yeah, like I said, I went through the scrap wood. All of it is up over here for my buddy to take hopefully tomorrow. Now I suppose I could always put it outside, put it on the side of the shop or something like that. I mean, it's aluminum, it's made to be. However, then I risk it going missing. I could always put it in the back of my truck, but then it's going to be rattling around and there's glass pieces in it. So yeah, don't really have an option but to set it all the way over there, unfortunately. If it was shorter than this bucket here, I basically said it's junk because anything that I can use that size for, I can just cut out of one of those. So don't need anything smaller than that. I am leaving the brick here because I will end up needing weights when I'm gluing stuff down eventually. I ended up finding a place for the windows. I wanted to put them above here, but I ended up just shoving them right there with a bungee cord so that they don't want to fall forward. And yeah, so the shop is pretty much as good as it's gonna get for this project, which I cannot wait to start working on. And so yeah, hopefully the next video that you guys will see will be me actually getting the plywood in and hopefully addressing the legs on that and the new top for that as well. And I set my garbage can now is underneath the table saw here. So it is out of the way. I usually have it underneath the workbench, but obviously there's not room now. So yeah, if you guys see anything that I could do differently, that would be an easy change. I can't really change the building structure itself at all. But if you guys see anything little that I could do to maybe make it a little bit easier to move around in here or just not be so cluttered, please let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, you guys have a good one.